Welcome to Cox Connections, a link between you, our customers, and what's happening in the community we share. I'm Kim Stanley, Vice President of Operations for Cox Roanoke. Cox Business and the Blue Ridge Business Journal have partnered to host a series of business discussions for those wanting insight into local issues of importance. Recently, a panel discussed regional cooperation. It's a topic that has been batted about since the late 1960s. In the 1990s, the New Century Council tried to tackle it. Now, two regional projects, the recent opening of the Virginia Tech Carilion School of Medicine and Research Institute, and the launching of the Creative Connectors 81 Reasons to Connect initiative have brought the topic back into focus.
What's interesting is the first slide is really the two PDCs primarily. And then the two maps of Virginia show what that PDC outline looks like across the state. And actually what you'll see is there's this dark area that spans the New River Valley and Roanoke, and both in terms of the creative class that are located here and educated workers that are located here. And what's ironic is that PDC line cuts right down the middle. To Ray's point, back in 1969, which I think is when they launched the PDCs in Virginia, they drew those lines not thinking about Roanoke and Virginia Tech and the New River Valley being one region. And I would definitely support what Ray just said, but I think it also highlights, I happen to be involved with the Regional Commission in 5th District. This is classic human ego, right? If someone said to me, hey, Jay, I think we need to close down the Roanoke Commission and basically move it up to New River Valley, you know, I would be one of the first ones to go, wait a second, I think we ought to turn that around. They should come down here. And I think that's part of our problem.
You know, that brings up a good point. Is there a level of competition, or dare I say animosity, between the two valleys? Are we fighting for top dog, and is that maybe one of the reasons that we don't cooperate as fully as we should?
One of my bits of history is that I grew up in the Raleigh-Durham area during the time that the Research Triangle Park was getting kicked off. And you can't imagine more disparate goals prior to that than the goals of Chapel Hill, Durham, and Raleigh. And it was a catalyst in the form of a very thoughtful governor that brought all those things together and made the Research Triangle Park happen. They had the advantage of some very strong leaders in business, industry, banking, also to make that happen. But again, I'm just kind of a little bit surprised that with as many good things, many good elements as are in this region, wonderful things that we can build on, that there has been this somewhat divisiveness in the region.
Dr. Raymond D. Smoot, Chief Operating Officer and Secretary-Treasurer of the Virginia Tech Foundation, Dr. Ralph Whatley, Chairman of the Department of Medicine at Carilion Clinic and Professor of Medicine and Chair of the Department of Medicine at the Virginia Tech Carilion School of Medicine, along with Elmer Hodge, former Roanoke County Administrator, Jay Foster, President of Soft Solutions Incorporated, and Beth Dowdy, Executive Director of the Regional Partnership, made up the panel.
Any effort of significance starts with yourself. We have to talk this talk and continue to move the conversation by not letting it die, by bringing it up, and everyone in this room and people in the community in general can recognize opportunities for regionalism.
If we advertised it as a region rather than as part of a region, it would be much more attractive and compete more effectively.
Elmer Hodge joins us now to talk more about the discussion. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
Well, it's good to see you as always. Well, you've had a chance to digest what was talked about during the executive discussion series, and what did you learn from that series?
Kim, I was most impressed with the people who participated, the people from the community that you've named. And also the program itself, I thought it was outstanding. It was very timely, outstanding, and there's a lot of opportunity for the two valleys, Roanoke Valley and the New River Valley. So it's just an exciting time.
Mm-hmm. I think it is too, and I agree with you. I mean, we had over 100 people come to the series,
Wow.
So I think that there's a true interest out there for it. What questions did the discussion bring about?
Oh, I think it was interesting and very satisfying to see that now the questions are more, what do we do? Whereas 10, 15 years ago, that would have been, no, we really don't need to.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, it's important to know that we've done a lot of cooperative efforts over the years, the various localities in the business community. I think the questions that seem to come to the front here are, what do we do and who does it? And there were a lot of suggestions for as to who from throughout, you know, the business community, the governments, the universities. Everyone seems to want to cooperate and to be a part of that, and that's really helpful.
Right, and that leads to my next question, regional cooperation. I mean, do you think it is a necessity, or given the global economy and how we interact today, you know, internationally, do we already have regional cooperation?
We do, but in the past, much of our cooperative approaches, many of them were specific projects with the localities. You know, and the more recent ones, the ones that you mentioned, Carilion Foundation, the center there is very, very important, because that's one of our strengths. One of the regional strengths is the whole healthcare issue, and so what I'd like to see us do is shift from that project specific to maybe a theme. Is there some theme that we can all buy into and all cooperate on? And healthcare is one of those. The hospitals do, the doctors and all of the technicians can cooperate. And the localities can. The localities can do things to help promote the whole variety of healthcare programs that are out there.
And I agree. I think that we do have some common themes, even beyond health care. We have our natural amenities.
We do.
And we're just doing a great job. And I think as businesses look to come to our entire region, they really look at our surroundings and what a great place to live.
That's right.
So I believe that's another solution.
It is. We've worked on it for a long time, but there's more that we can do and do it together. The business community is contributing to the greenways, and the localities have to. So yes, lots that we can do.
Well, Elmer, in closing, what do you think? I mean, about regional cooperation. What does the future look like for us?
It's very important. There's opportunity for all of us to do that. We can all buy into some type of cooperation that we're interested in for whatever our interests are, and we have leaders in place to move this forward.
I agree. You're absolutely right, and you're one of those leaders, and I just so appreciate your commitment to our entire region.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
These discussions are held periodically and are free and open to the public. During each session, a panel of experts addresses timely topics. Stay with us. The Roanoke Cool Cities Coalition has helped making the region a greener place to live and work. We'll hear how after the break.